and I'm just owning up to my mistakes, Your Honor.
How old are you?
26.
All right, being homeless doesn't give you the excuse or a pass to commit crimes. Because if that's the case, then everybody can be homeless, and everybody who's homeless can say, oh yeah, I robbed a bank, I'm homeless. And I'm admitting that I robbed a bank. Excuse me and forgive me because I'm homeless. That's not an excuse to commit crime. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There are laws.
Ready, Your Honor.
All right, the court is, thank you. Court is calling 2022 CR 1156, State of Texas versus Isaiah Gibson. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, hand, Your Honor.
Defense?
James C. Law for the defendant, Your Honor.
Are you Isaiah Gibson?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation, this is an application.
Thank you.
Counsel.
Deferred. And it's, we're asking the court to waive PSI. The state recommends.
All right, just a second.
Okay.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
All right. Mr. Gibson, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, counsel, you said this was an application for deferred as well?
This is a deferred adjudication recommended by the state, part of the plea bargain. I just wanted to let you know.
All right, thank you. I see where you hand wrote that. All
Because
right.
you don't have a phone.
We need an
deferred.
application for deferred
Or
adjudication.
don't you grant deferred? Is that why you don't have?
All right, they're printing some more. Oh, no, you can just ask other people in the courtroom. Yes, we give deferreds in this courtroom. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
on both counts? Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't say.
We're gonna go to one count one, Judge. I'm assuming that's what defense counsel was out with.
We talked about it.
All right. Any objection to the waiver of count two?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gibson, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense in count one of theft of a vehicle, $30,000 to $150,000
Yes, ma'am.
as a third degree felony?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he is.
Mr. Gibson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution, if any, to Home Depot located at 5638 West Loop 1604, San Antonio 78251. There is to be cats 1 and 2, and there's to be, well, the court will probably order no contact with Home Depot. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea?
That's our plea.
State is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
This is it. If she follows the plea bargain, you can appeal.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes,
We
yes,
went
ma'am.
over that.
right, council, have there been any such motions?
No.
Showing you outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and no contact with the Home Depot at 5638 West Loop 1604. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
To count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State Exhibit number 1 with office attachments.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor. Part of the plea bargain is they're gonna dismiss a misdemeanor case. I don't know if the court read off the number, but there
It's
is.
not in here.
It's a dismissal, and I believe prosecutor is gonna give it to you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Am I right?
Yes, it's just not on the plea bargain agreement, so the judge would not know about it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. All right, state, you may continue to confer.
Thank you.
Going to show you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses? There'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so why are you taking what does not belong to you?
I was homeless and it was an opportunity for me to get some money, a payment, and I just didn't know what to do at the time. And I'm just owning up to my mistakes, Your Honor.
How old are you?
26.
All right, being homeless doesn't give you the excuse or pass to commit crimes. Because if that's the case, then everybody can be homeless and everybody who's homeless can say, oh yeah, I robbed a bank, I'm homeless. And I'm admitting that I robbed a bank. Excuse me and forgive me because I'm homeless. That's not an excuse to commit crime. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There are laws. So do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
I have a 7-year-old, 1-year-old, and I have kids on the way.
So you have children on the way?
Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps twins.
All right. And how long have you been homeless?
That was back in 2020. I'm no longer homeless anymore.
Why would you, and this is just a question that I want answered because I'm always curious. And I think if you're in the legal field, you need to be curious. Why would you continue to have children when you're not stable? For example, you have a 7-year-old, a 1-year-old, and now you say you have children on the way. Why would you bring other children into this world and do activities that will result in children being brought in this world and you don't even have your life together?
That's just my mistake, Your Honor.
No, I mean, it's not a mistake. Those are choices. People choose to do whatever activities they do. So I'm trying to figure out why people keep doing activities or not being responsible in the activities that they do and bringing children in this world that they're not prepared to raise. Do you understand that taxpayers are tired of taking care of other people's children?
Yes, ma'am.
So these children that you're about to have, if you do daycare and you're getting, you don't have to pay the full price of daycare. You know why you don't? Because taxpayers are paying for it, not you. If you get housing and you're really supposed to be paying $2,500 a month and you're really paying $34 a month, you know who's picking up that tab? Taxpayers. Taxpayers are tired of doing that. And you're old enough to know better and you're old enough to know where children come from. So why would you be irresponsible, make a choice to have these children and you're not taking care of them?
Well, I am taking care of my 1-year-old son I have now. And that was like 2-3 years ago when I wasn't with my other mother of my child.
So how many mothers of children do you have?
It's just 2.
All right. So while you're out there homeless, who was paying for your child to eat? Think about that. Because a 7-year-old, a 1-year-old, you can't just put them at Travis Park and say, well, I've helped create you, go forth, hunt for yourself. So when you're homeless and when you're saying, I can't get my life together, who is providing diapers for your children? Because I know people don't do cotton anymore because people think that's beneath them. But when you can't afford the Pampers or whatever, you should go back to cotton. So when you're homeless and not doing anything, who's supporting your children? Because it wasn't you.
At the time, it was the mother of my child.
Yeah. And so when you have children, you can't fall down on your job because they can't financially support themselves. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, since this has happened, he has been employed and he assures me that he's employable once he's released.
All right. And why were you homeless?
Well, I just didn't want to go back home, and I couldn't find a good job because I lost my ID, and I just couldn't find the money to go get a new ID.
So you'd rather be homeless than go back home?
No, my mom wasn't allowing me to go back home.
All right. And how old were you?
I was 23 at the time.
All right. Is your mom a good mom?
Yes, ma'am.
So she probably wasn't allowing you to go back home because you don't want to follow her rules. And I always tell people, when you go back home to live with your mom, you're not an adult because you're not paying for the roof that's over your head and you're not paying for food. And I'm sure your mom probably was saying, I'm not going to have a grown man just living at my house doing nothing. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated high school.
And what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I was planning on getting my CDL and driving trucks because I have a cousin who has his own trucking company, and I wanted to drive trucks with him.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. There's restitution to Home Depot, if any. And that's the Home Depot located at 5638 West Loop, 1604, 78251. And there's to be no contact with Home Depot. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs, 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once he completes parenting classes, the court will allow him 50 hours to be subtracted from the 200 hours. And I'm going to order that you're in some type of trade school. So if you want to get your CDL license, you can. Once that is done, then the remaining of the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. They want you to do CATs 1 and 2. You have all these children that you need to take care of, and hopefully you can spend some time with. Here's my CATs 1 and 2. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. If you rent a vehicle or rent property, you need to return it when it says it's due in the contract. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
I would like to get a new ID, but I still have to renew my license as well.
All right, so you'll have to do that. If you tell probation about that, they'll give you the steps that you need in order to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I can tell you, I've recently had my license renewed, and guess what? You got to make an appointment. And they're going to want your birth certificate or either passport. And if you don't have those, they will give you a temporary ID and make you pay the $33 for it. And guess what? It's only good for 2 weeks.
All right, sir.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Do better.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I appreciate it. May I be excused?
Yes.
Good luck. Okay.
Court is calling 2023 CR 8957, State of Texas versus Justin Gamboa. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the state. That's okay. For the defense.
David Rodriguez for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Gamboa?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gamboa, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Counsel, are you waiving the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
All right, did you understand you're charged with the offense of terroristic threat peace officer? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
All right. And did you understand by giving up those rights, you're asking that the court proceed with your plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
And are you intending to give up those rights and proceed with the plea in this case?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gamboa, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
I'm sorry. Who was?
Are you with us today?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
All right, are you having a problem following along?
No, ma'am.
All right. Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes. Yes, a U.S. citizen.
Okay, do you think there's an issue here?
I really don't. I mean, we were able to talk. He was able to tell me about what happened, and
Has anyone threatened you,
No, ma'am.
coerced you,
No, ma'am.
or forced you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
All right, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure everything is okay here? Or is he just responding slow?
No, I'm probably just responding slow, but I'm understanding.
Okay. According to the plea bargaining agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 120 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all the attachments.
No objection.
All right, Mr. Gamboa, I'm showing you the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney?
Did I review that with my attorney? Yes.
All right, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state is not going to call any witnesses to testify? That
Yes.
they're, all right. And did you understand that they're going to be using the police reports to prove their case?
Yes.
And so you understand nobody's coming in to testify?
Yes.
All right. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Gamboa, I understand that a lot of times people want to rush through cases. Like attorneys are like, we're ready to go. Not you. But when people are not before me, attorneys are like, Judge, move it along. We're ready to go. But I'm reading things in this report. One, he has the machete. They say usually he has a machete. Is there some mental health issues going on here? Is there homelessness? What is the issue?
You're homeless, right?
Yes. I've been homeless for quite a few years.
All right, so have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
No, I haven't been diagnosed yet, but no, I was hoping to go to Haven so I could get some psychiatric help or counseling.
All right, so I know you've been here for a while, but I have some slight concerns with him saying he's never had any mental health treatment, but he's hoping to go for Haven for Hope and get some psychiatric medications. And then in the police report, I have this issue with him walking around with a machete. And I understand that sometimes when people are homeless, they want to use certain things for protection. So we're not going to send you back. We're going to try to solve this issue that we have. And if you all, after considering all of those things, you still believe he's competent and he still wants to go with this plea, I'll accept it. But if there's something else that can be done so he doesn't come back here again, because what I see happening is I can give him the 120 days and he'll probably be back here with another judge, another prosecutor, another attorney for some other offense. So if y'all want to confirm that, and we'll bring y'all back at 1:30. Okay, let's do that. All right, these cases are done. Those are done. Okay, and everyone, I apologize, but I need to take a break. Everybody needs to take a break. It's noontime. So we'll be back at 1:30. And I need to make sure the staff and everybody eats before I get accused. We're going to go back on the record in 2023 CR 8957, State of Texas versus Justin Gamboa. We're going to have parties reannounced for the record for the state.
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
For the defense.
David Rodriguez for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Gamboa?
Yes.
All right. We were in the middle of the plea. The court had already accepted into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court had some concerns with regards to mental health issues, if there were any, if the defendant was competent or not competent. Defense, have you had a chance to speak with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
All right. And are you prepared to address those issues on the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
Your Honor, would you like to read you the student testimony or from him, or
Whichever way you wish to proceed.
I'll just give a report. Your Honor, I have talked to Mr. Gamboa and I'm completely satisfied that he understands what the charges are against him. He has been able to assist me in his defense. I believe he is mentally competent to take this plea today.
All right, thank you. Any questions or concerns from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gamboa, if the court follows this agreement, what are your plans?
My plans, just if Haven, those are my plans.
Haven for Hope? Do you have any family members here?
Yes, I got them if I comes.
All right, when I say family members here, I don't mean at the courthouse at 300 Dolorosa. I mean, do you have a mom, dad, brother, sisters here in San Antonio?
Yes. Okay.
Are you in contact with them or no?
Any contact? No, I haven't had any contact with them in a few weeks.
All right. Is that few weeks because you've been in custody or for some other reason?
In custody, yes. Basically, yes.
All right. So when you're not in custody, when's the last time you had contact with them?
I'd say a week before I got arrested.
All right. Why are you homeless?
My mom, she kicked me out of her home, so from there I been struggling. I mean, I just been walking out in the streets. I could have been over there at Haven, could have been at Haven, but I just I was just having fun.
All right. Do you have children?
Yes, I have a son. He doesn't live here in San Antonio. He lives in Contempt, Texas.
All right. All right. Anything else from either side?
Nothing to
say, Your Honor.
All right. I'll follow your plea bargain agreement. The court will sentence you to 120 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. You had better start making your plans. Otherwise, it's not going to go well for you in this society. You understand?
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Have a great rest of your day. All right, court is calling 2020 CR 10474B, State of Texas versus Matthew Dotson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
David Andre Woodard for Mr. Dotson.
Are you Matthew Dotson?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. And First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Matthew Dotson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 10474B for the offense of aggravated kidnapping on September 8, 2021 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, violating condition number 1, on or about the 11th day of October 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Matthew Dotson committed the offense of evade, arrest, or detention in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
I will waive the remaining violated convictions.
Any objections to the waivers?
No objections, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, there's not.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
State's requesting revocation. We're taking into consideration clause number 719241, evading arrest and detention.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're asking the court to follow probation's recommendation. It appears probation still wants to work with Mr. Dotson. They're recommending that he attend the local ISF, followed by ISP placement for full 12 months. I've talked to Mr. Dotson about that. He is in agreement with it if the court would consider allowing him to go into local ISF. He realized there's some issues that he still needs to deal with to make him successful while on probation. So we're asking the court to deny the motion to adjudicate and alter amendment conditions for local ISF.
What's his criminal history? Because I don't have the report that contains that.
Judge here in Bexar County, looks like he has, this has this evading arrest, this act kidnapping, and he had a theft that wasn't indicted back in 2017.
All right, this is not his first motion to revoke, is that correct?
It's not, Judge. From my understanding, it's possibly his second. I know I represented him on the first motion to revoke.
Mhm.
And in that motion to revoke, we had an agreement with the prosecution. There was a visiting judge present at the time.
Yes.
He was revoked and given 10 years, and we filed a motion to reconsider. This court placed him back on deferred, and now in front of the court again this morning.
All right. So I don't know if your client wants to address the issue. Why should I continue him when, as you stated before, another judge had revoked him, sentenced him to 10 years? And I'm assuming the reason why I went back and continued him on deferred is because the state and the defense came to the court and said, hey, we had an agreement. We were not expecting the 10 years in the prison. It appears that maybe if he would have been given the 10 years of prison, we would not have this evading. So I don't understand why I should continue him, because in the first place, he's on deferred for a first degree felony, which is aggravated kidnapping. And then he picks up an evading arrest. I don't understand why I should continue him. Here's that he has done nothing. What has he done on probation?
I believe in speaking with Mr. Dotson, Judge, he was employed. I don't know if the court wishes to inquire and ask him about that employment, but he was employed while he was on probation.
All right. You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Matthew Dodson.
All right, what have you done since you've been on probation?
I have worked the entire time. The first month I got off, and when I got out, I did not work. I admitted to my probation that I had messed up because when I got out, I didn't have everything set up like it was supposed to. Like I wasn't in a place that had a living situation was out of the question because my brother he just got out and he's a felon. I couldn't stay at my mom's. That was one of the places I was supposed to stay. My job, I did not have no transportation to get to my job that I got out with. But a month right after that, literally.
Oh, wait a minute. What's wrong with a via bus? I don't understand why people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't understand why people have an issue with via bus. I rode the via bus.
I had no problem riding the via bus, ma'am. It was
Which is great for defense attorneys. I was a new defense attorney. I rode the via bus. I picked up many a client while I was on the via bus. So
I literally had no problem with the via bus, ma'am. Like I said, I didn't have no place to stay right when I got out. Literally, I was trying my best. So I took it upon myself to go back to where I was living at, which wasn't a good idea. That's when I told my probation officer that, hey, look, I admit it. I used, and it wasn't good. It wasn't going to come out clean. Literally a week after that, you came up in my head, really, to be honest. You came in my head because I heard, say, if you want to continue this, you're going to go to prison. If you continue this, blah, blah. And then I was like, okay, I stopped using. I started working right after that. And I've been working ever since then, day and night. Got a place to stay with my boss. He has an apartment there. He's got a place to stay. And I've been working ever since then. And my probation officer called me and told me, hey, if I get the courts to throw away the warrant, can you come in and sign a paper? Yes, sir. I gave him my address. I gave him the place where I worked. He knew where I was working at. The evading arrest, ma'am, literally when the cops came, I was fighting with one of my spouses and I went to go grab
Wait a minute. What do you mean you were fighting with one of your spouses? How many spouses do you have?
I have just one, but what I'm saying, my bad, I apologize. I was fighting with my spouse. And I went to go grab my backpack from the backyard, literally jogged, and the officer told me to stop, freeze, and I did, and I went to the ground. I didn't run. I didn't do any of that.
Well, I mean, you just pled true to
I know.
evading.
I understand, but what I'm saying, when I jogged to the backyard to grab, so I went to go to jail with my property, and I wasn't able to. I'm just giving you the honest truth of what happened. So when they gave me, I know I just pled to.
No. So you're telling me in a roundabout way that you have done nothing on probation except have employment.
Yes, ma'am.
And honestly, employment
drugs
is what everybody else has.
Right.
And you say you stopped doing drugs, and I'm not considering it, counsel, but we have a lot of positive tests in here, allegedly. Probation, what are you asking for on Mr. Dotson?
So in reviewing, it looks like the officer is asking for Mr. Dotson to attend local ISF followed by ISP placement for full 12 months, biweekly UAs for 60 days, weekly sober support meetings, GPS held in abeyance, and a drug offender education program.
All right. Here are your choices. I was sentenced to the prison for the 6 years, or either you're not going to ISF, you will be going to safety. Those are your choices. And when you are released from safety, you're going to be on GPS. And if you come back here again, if you choose to go to safety and be on full GPS, when you come back here again, if you come back for a motion to revoke, you'll be looking at the full range of punishment. You know yourself better than I know you, better than the attorney, better than the probation knows you. But what I'm telling you is, if you come back here for a motion to revoke, the full range of punishment is available to the court up to 99 years or life. And the state may be asking for such. So you can either do 6 years. You do your 6 years, you will be done. You will no longer be on probation. They will release you when they release you. Because of the nature of the offense, you'll have to do half your time before you are released, which would be 3 calendar years before you're released. You'll get credit for any time that you've been in custody towards those 3 years. But Either way, you're not leaving the jail for some time soon, for any time soon, excuse me.
Safety.
All right. I'll deny the motion. Alter and amend conditions to include safety, and there's to be full GPS upon release from safety. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And probation, once he's released from safety, if you all want to approach the court about the full GPS and making it partial for work or partial for him to complete the aftercare, let the court know. All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We're off the record, Mr. Dotson. From here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself whether this could result in you going to prison, for potentially life. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, who's here on Atwan Lin?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
All right, where's Atwan
He's
Lin?
in custody, Your Honor.
All right. If he'll come forward, and have you all conferred with?
I conferred with AJ Garahan, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Judge, on this case, one of the issues that
All right, everyone, please whisper.
one of the issues that Mr. Lin is facing, Judge, is he is homeless. He was from deferred probation. I want to keep that deferred status without a conviction. Mr. Lin's homeless. That's why he didn't report to his first.
Okay, so we need to, are you all ready to have your hearing? That's my,
No, I want to see if we can ask the court respectfully to reset this, let him do an in-custody CAF evaluation. So we have a good picture of his overall situation. And if we can do that, Your Honor, that'd be great.
all right, could I see the prosecutor on Atwan Lin?
Judge, it's Mr. Garahan. He's on the phone.
Okay,
So.
all right, so, all right, so I can go forward without a CHOP evaluation, because this isn't, I'm looking at the allegations in the motion.
Judge.
We can move without a TAP.
Well, Mr. Lynn's homeless, Judge, and we're sort of going into this vicious circle of, he's not able to report. If he does.
Oh, we can solve that problem.
Pardon me?
We can solve that problem.
Well, I don't want to end up with a conviction, Judge.
We can solve the problem.
Okay, let me have him sit down and then we'll do that.
All right, thank you.
When I see.
All right, so where are we on this case? There were some discovery issues involving the cab company.
Judge, I got to go back to the cab company. They didn't have anything that was responsive.
All right, so they don't have anything.
That's my understanding, Judge, yes.
Any other discovery issues?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, so I need an acknowledgement of discovery signed today.
Okay.
And has an offer been tendered?
Judge, I haven't had a chance to file. I think all we did was speak about the discovery very briefly.
All right,
Pretty sure I may have already made an offer.
all right. And are you a citizen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to set this for a plea deadline date. And can we put this on December 18th as well?
Yes.
All right.
Judge, if we could do the month afterwards, and I've been a little bit busy lately and I'm gonna be busy for a while. My mother passed away Sunday.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I appreciate that. Just
Okay,
a bunch of people out of town in and out of arrangements and such.
all right. All right, can you put this on January 3rd? All right, so we'll be back on January 3rd. Is that all right?
Okay, appreciate it. January, so it's a plea deadline, Judge?
Yes, are you okay with that date? Or do you need it later?
The week after. would be a
Okay.
little bit
No,
better.
no
And I
problem.
apologize, Judge, it's just,
No, I understand. Put it for January 11th then.
that should be fine. Thank you.
All right. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you. It's been with me the last year. So.
Yeah. So,
Thank
well, you have my prayers and my mom's prayers.
Thank you. Judge.
All right. All right, on this case, and counsel, you're on this side?
I'm sorry, Judge.
That's okay. Breath discovery.
Yes, Judge, we did get that evidence in last week, and so we're in the process of trying to review that discovery, Judge.
Who's the prosecutor you're conferring with?
Daniel,
Has an offer been tendered?
Yes.
All right, all right. I'm going to give you a plea deadline date. Can you set this for December 14th for a plea deadline date?
Judge, is there any way we could get into the new year? Because we're also in the process of trying to get some documentation from Mr. Martinez's position to present to the court and to the district attorney's
All right,
office.
we'll see where we are on December 14th.
Okay, Judge.
All right, so your plea deadline is going to be December 14th. If there's good cause for me to extend that, I will.
I appreciate that, Judge. We're just trying to get that evidence put together.
Sure, no problem.
Thank
Once
you.
it's signed, you're excused.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. We
Thank you, Your Honor.
appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
Judge,
Yes,
if I could address only one issue.
yes.
Mr. Martinez is a partner in a particular company that they're doing a presentation in Las Vegas for the funding of certain monies that are being done for nonprofit organizations.
Mhm.
And he's asking permission to be able to attend that.
You'll have to talk with the state about that and see if they have any objections.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.